Welcome to Turning Pages, the podcast where we explore the power of self-healing, the wisdom in books, and the strength of a positive mindset. I'm your host, Mel, and each week I have the pleasure of interviewing authors, coaches, and everyday people who inspire and encourage us to live our best lives. Together, we'll dive into insightful conversations that help you turn the pages into the next chapter of life. Whether you're on a journey of personal growth or simply looking for inspiration, you're in the right place. Let's turn the pages together.
There's absolutely nothing you wouldn't do relentlessly, endlessly.
Welcome to the Turning Pages podcast. I'm your host, Mel, and in today's episode, it is a faceless one. I'm more comfortable this way. And, we're turning the pages to the next chapter of our life. And I realized getting on social media, I had to get personal. So I'm actually going to stop reading books for an entire year. I know. How could a host who built her whole platform based on books stop reading? Well, it's not entirely true. I just do not want to consume any relationship books anymore. No dating books, no relationship books, no marriage books. I have consumed those books for years and literally has not gotten me anywhere. I'm still single, and I never thought I would be 41 and single at this age. But part of my journey is accepting that where I am right now. And sometimes we can be consuming this content over and over and over again, only to find ourselves, stuck in the same place. And I do have a problem with the self-help, self-development industry. They're always pushing content out there, and we take them up and we grasp them. It's almost like we're addicted to it. We're addicted to the motivational quotes and, all these things. And we don't even get time, I think, sometimes, I'm talking for myself, to experience life, to just press pause. Don't read the book. Don't listen to the podcast. Just press pause and just be here in the now and enjoy life. Strengthen your relationship with God, strengthen your relationship with the people that you have around you. So for me, I need to part ways with those books for a year. I've made some exceptions. If I'm gifted a book or there's an author coming on the podcast that has a relationship book, I would read it for the podcast. Other than that, I'm not reading it for an entire year. That also goes for my social media. I am going to be muting and deleting a lot of people that are relationship coaches that talk about relationships or dating, feminine energy, black cat energy, red pill, blue pill, whatever the hell it is. I don't want it. I just do not want to consume it anymore. I started to feel like that character in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck with Mark Manson, where the woman was consuming all of this content and she was like depressed, right? And I know that I'm intrigued by the way the different genders work, by the way psychology is, how I think even with so much science, behavioral science, we still don't know, we don't have it figured out. We have childhood trauma that we've done some work on and everything like that. But I think experience is the best of teachers. There's so much things you can learn from books, but experience will always teach you. And learning to have respect for yourself, spiritual practice, and so forth. And the dating culture, it's messy. It really is. And for me, getting back out there, it's scary. I sometimes say, okay, well, maybe I'm going to die alone and I'll be okay with it. I'll be okay with dying alone. But then my human instincts kick in, and that's not the case. I would love to share my life with someone, which got me thinking, since I'm going to be venturing out and moving forward, I thought about compatibility, being compatible with someone. We often are choosing partners that we are in lust with, that we find the butterflies or the chemistry, and we're not thinking about it long term or for marriage, and also in a godly perspective. This serving God's purpose? I do think that when a man and woman get together, they should be serving, on some higher level together. And for me, you know, it's just, it's a sad situation. Like, it actually hurts at times. The the loneliness or the isolation, or the fact that I sometimes think that my age is a hindrance with dating. You know, I shared on my Instagram recently that I was speaking to this guy and we had great chemistry, and it was like he checked everything on my prayer list, only for him to come at the end and say, "Hey, I really like you and you're really great, but you're not enough." And with years in therapy and stuff like that, I felt like I handled the situation well, but his reasoning was because I couldn't, have children. And I'm okay with that because I feel like everybody should have their list of values and compromises and what they're not going to tolerate, and what their wants are. For me too, I have my own list and stuff. So I had to take a step back, but then realize, okay, now this is a chapter in my life that has changed. I can't offer someone that. And to be rejected because of that, it did hurt. It hurt quite a bit. It took some months actually for me to grieve that aspect of it. It didn't hurt because he rejected me. It hurt because it was something I was praying for. It hurt because I felt I had that desire in me, but God didn't allow me to have it. So it was an unanswered prayer that I had to be okay with. Now I am okay with adoption and stuff like that. I mean, I come with a son, and I'm grateful and I'm blessed with this son that I have. He's an amazing human being. But knowing that God said absolutely no, you know, um, it could happen, maybe, medical interventions and stuff like that. I mean, of course, there's more to the story. The, this type of suggestions that he was coming up with, I was like, hell no, like, this guy's crazy. But needless to say, it was a chapter in my life. Now I had to realize, okay, I have to pick differently, and now it's not time. Like, I have time to play games with anyone, and I don't want anybody to play games with me. So I'm very honest and upfront. I tell you, like, ask you, is this something you want in the future? If kids is something you want in the future and that's what you want, then don't date me. Don't even talk to me. I don't have that time, and I think we should be choosing people on compatibility instead of the way they make us feel. It's good to choose someone on the make us feel for short term, but long term it doesn't work out. And this actually clicked at me, this compatibility thing, when I was watching a local podcast, and the guy was comparing. He said he's no longer in a position in his life, and I'm just, this is not word for word, but he's not willing to compromise on anything he doesn't want to do. And he compared it to a threesome, and I was like, okay, that's a little, off. But then it really clicked at me. I'm like, we're picking people that we're not compatible with. For me, I'm not a drinker, so I wouldn't date someone who loves to drink alcohol. It just would not make sense. There's no point of it, and getting on even the drinking thing too. We also have the casual hookup culture that is so detrimental to women, not just their psyche, but their soul and their spirit. Like, I don't know how some women do it. I don't know how some men do it. But the stories that I hear, out there, it makes me want to never leave my house, makes me want to not date ever again. However, I'm open. I feel like I'm open minded to gain experience, meet new people, and it's okay if they're not the one. But I feel like moving forward, I have my values, I have my morals, I know what I want. Will I find love? I don't know. I I really don't know, but I'm hoping. I pray, I ask God to guide me in this season of my life. I just didn't think that I would be single at this age. So it's difficult navigating things. And then the other thing is I have always been in relationships. I have no idea how to date. Like I feel like I actually need a probably a repair class on social skills. However, it's so scary out there that I'm terrified of dating, but I'm like I said, I'm really praying on it and I'm asking God to guide me and bless me and put me in the right direction, with the right people. Um Personally, I don't like the online dating. I have lasted 10 minutes on Tinder. I was like, hell no. I tried eHarmony for 6 months. That was a no-go. Um, I don't think online is for me. Personally, I like meeting people organically. I like and it's not because I read a lot and I want a really good meet cute. I just want to meet people organically. I want to know what you are like in person. Hopefully, maybe I'll meet somebody while I'm on my trip. I'm going away for 3 months, so I'm excited for that. But I guess in a way, you can say that I'm desensitizing or decentering. Decentering men and relationships. Um, I just don't see the need for the obsession anymore. I don't see the need for me to put my energy into focusing on the fact that I need to date or anything like that. Like I said, I'm keeping an open mind, but I don't want that pressure anymore. I just want to surrender it to God and leave it in God's hands and enjoy my life. The way I look at it is I'm 41. I may or may not have 20 years left, and it's the reality. Like when I think about it, I can't look backwards anymore. I have to look forward. And when we realize that, we realize how short time is that we have left here, and we have to make the best of it. Like, who are we going to share this time with? And what are we going to do with our time? And for me, it was just like starting this podcast was really something to push me beyond my fear, putting myself out there. And I'm so glad I did. I've met some incredible people. I've met people that have been supporting me online. I have met people that wrote some incredible books. Um, and just I get the opportunity to listen to these stories, to absorb their words and their experiences. And it has been a really blessed experience. I've had my lows, of course, behind the scenes. Um, I started going to praise and worship, and that has been emotional. Um, there's certain aspects of my spiritual life that has emerged. I'm becoming this woman that is basically wild and tamed at the same time, which is beautiful to witness. My body's changing. I can see, you know, certain aspects of myself that are just blooming. The self-love, the worth, but also the appreciation. The appreciation for myself, but also for other women that I'm seeing walking the same path. I have a lot to say in further episodes concerning the social construct with genders and stuff like that. But I will leave that for another episode. But this is basically me saying, I'm done. I'm done with relationship content. I'm done with relationship books. I'm done with dating advice. Like, I don't even want to hear it. I am just really done with it. I want to experience life. I don't want to live it behind the pages. I actually need to experience it now. Now, this doesn't mean I'm not going to read a romance novel every now and then. I am a hopeful romantic, but I just don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. I feel like there's so much information out there that I am just getting frustrated. I don't know if I'm doing something right, wrong, this, that, whatever. And I want to be me. The next chapter of my life is me being my authentic self. I can't please everyone. I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I'm going to get rejected along the way. And that is part of life. Now, I hear a lot of women, they tell me they don't want to date locally. And I absolutely understand why. Um, However, I feel like we do still have some good men here on the island, and we probably should keep an open mind and give them a chance. And the other thing is to just keep in mind your morals, your values, and moving forward, and see how that goes, and pray about it. Like, I really believe that God's on my side, and He is guiding me to another level, even in this single season. I've been single for a very long time, but this is the first time I am physically, mentally, and spiritually feeling God's presence moving in my life. And it feels amazing. So, this is basically what this episode was about, with me not reading. It's just I'm over the relationship books. I'm over the dating content. Now, will I be open to dating? Yes. Online? No. Would I date locally? Maybe. But I'm open and I want experiences now. I don't know the rules, the real rules, because there's a lot of books on the rules, um, on dating. Oh, and the other thing I discovered while, going on social media is apparently there's a whole dating culture on social media with liking someone's posts and stories and stuff like that. So I actually feel like a senior citizen trying to learn this new culture. And it feels daunting at times, but I'm really open to the experience. Um, so stay tuned. Let's see if I get myself on a date, or I, who knows? God works in mysterious ways. I could be married by next year. But that's it. That's it for this episode. Don't read any more relationship books. Stay off of the relationship content. It can actually do us more damage than good if we overconsume these things. And life is always the best experience. Go out there and live it. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys have been enjoying the podcast. Please hit the like and subscribe button and stay tuned. I have come off of TikTok, so please follow me on Instagram or YouTube. That's where I can be reached on my social media platforms. And also, you can follow my blog for more.